Okay, let us solve some questions based on what we've done in the previous video. Let us look at this word, jam questions. The first question is taken from UTME 1981, number 40. 1981, number 40. Which of the following elements and compound will sublime on exposure to the atmosphere? And I told you the meaning of sublimation. Sublimation is the word is the changing of a substance from solid state to gaseous state without what passing through the what liquid. When you have a substance changing from solid state to what to gas to gaseous state without passing through the what liquid state. And I gave you example of what of substances that can sublime. And this is a question from JAM. They say which of the following can sublime on exposure to what? To atmosphere. The answer to that question is what? Iodine. Iodine is an example of a substance that can sublime. It can sublime, it can change from solid to what? Gas without passing through the what? Liquid state. And other examples, I told you dry ice. I told you what? Ammonium chloride. I told you naphthalene. Those what substances can sublime. Let us go to the second one. The second question is from JAM 1991, number 2. The question is, which of the following are mixture? Which of the following are mixture? And what is the meaning of mixture? Mixture is just the combination of two or more constituents which are not chemically held together. When you have two or more constituents which are not chemically held together, that is a mixture. An example of mixture, we have blood, we have what? Flood, we have what? Milk, we have petroleum, we have what? Organizer solution. They are what? Example of mixture. And don't forget, mixture can be heterogeneous or homogeneous. Mixture can be heterogeneous or homogeneous. Homogeneous mixture, example is what? Petroleum. Example is what? Crude oil. They are examples of what? Homogeneous what? Mixture. Heterogeneous mixture, example is what? Flood. Because in flood, you can have what? The water, you can have sand, you can have what? Paper, you can have what? Nylon. That is what? Heterogeneous mixture. But look at this question. The question is, which of the following are mixture? The Roman figure one, we have petroleum, we have rubber latex, we have a organizer solution, and we have a carbon 2 sulfide. Petroleum is an example of a mixture. Inside petroleum, we have what? Constituents like what? Gases. We have what? Constituents like what? Alkane. They are what? Constituents in petroleum. Rubber latex. In rubber latex, we have is an example of mixture. In rubber latex, we have water. Water can be found in rubber latex. We have what? Non-isoprene. And we have what? Polyisoprene in rubber latex. Organizer solution. What is a organizer solution? It's a mixture. It's an example of mixture. Organizer solution is what? When you dissolve what? Rubber. When you dissolve rubber in benzene. When you dissolve rubber in benzene. That means in organizer solution we have rubber and what? Benzene. It's also a mixture. But carbon 2 sulfide is an example of a compound. It's an example of a compound. Therefore, the mixture in this word question is for Roman figure 1, Roman figure 2, and Roman figure 3. That means the answer is what? Option A. This is an example of a mixture. That means petroleum. Petroleum can also be called crude oil. Petroleum can also be called crude oil. It's an example of mixture. Rubber latex is an example of mixture. I told you in rubber latex, we have water, we have non-isoprene, we have polyisoprene. They are example of mixture. That means Roman figure 1, 2, and 3. Let's go to the third question. This one is what picked from 1994, number 2. 1994, number 2. The question is, a pure solid usually melt. A pure solid usually melt. Don't forget, when a substance is pure, the substance will have constant boiling and melting point. When you have a pure substance, the substance will have sharp or constant melting or boiling point. Melting and boiling point will be constant. That means very sharp. a pure substance, we have constant or sharp boiling and what? Melting point. The question is, a pure solid usually melts, or sorry, we have over a wide range of temperature. That is wrong. When you have impure substance, a impure substance will melt over a wide range of what? Temperature. They won't have a constant or what? Sharp melting point or boiling point. It will be what? A range for impure. That means for the answer to this question is what? Over a narrow range of what? Temperature. That means a sharp and constant what? Point, melting point. That means over a narrow range of temperature. The answer to this question is what? B. That means it will have a sharp or constant melting point. That means it will melt over a narrow range of temperature. Then let's go to the next question. This one is picked from what? 2022, last year, number 26. The question is, physical properties of substance include all the following except which of the following is a physical property. That means which of the following is a physical change. And I told you all of them, they say which of the properties of physical property of substance in the include all the following except. That means all the following are examples of what? Physical property, except all the following, all the option are example of physical property except one of them. One of them is not physical property, which is what? Chemical property. That means we are looking for the one that is not a physical change or a physical property, the one that is chemical change. And I told you when I gave you what? The meaning of physical change. I said physical change is a change that can easily be reversed in which what? No new substance is formed. And I gave you an example. Example of physical change. Boiling is an example of physical change. Density is an example of physical change. Malleability is an example of physical change. Rusting is an example of what? Chemical change. The one that is not physical change is what? Rusting. Therefore, the answer is what? Rusting. It's an example of what? Chemical change. It's not physical change. Let us go to the next question. Number 5, 2019, number 27. Which of the following is a physical change? This one is also what? Question on physical change. Which of the following is a physical change? Burning of kerosene is what? Chemical change. Dissolving calcium in water is a chemical change. Exposing white phosphorus to air is a chemical change. The one that is a physical change is for freezing of ice cream. I told you freezing is an example of a physical change. The answer to this question is what? B. It's an example of physical change. Then let's go to the last question. In countries where the temperature falls below 273 Kelvin, that means below 0 degrees C, salt is always sprinkled on the icy road. In order to, this question is taken from 2008, number 2. They say in countries where the temperature falls below 273 Kelvin, that means 0 degrees C, salt is always sprinkled on the icy road in order to, they want you to what? Use the knowledge of the effect of impurity on melting point and boiling point. I told you when impurities are added to our substances, it increases the boiling point. It lowers the what? Melting point. When you add impurities to substances, it increases the what? Boiling point. It lowers the what? Melting point. When you have salt, salt is an impure substance. It's an impure substance when added to what? Water, or when added to ice. When you add salt to ice, what happens? It lowers the melting point of the ice. Therefore, the answer to this question, lower the melting point of the ice, because impurity decreases melting point. It lowers melting point. These are some of the questions you can see on the what? On the topic we did. And you can go back to your past question and solve more. Any question that cannot be solved, you can direct it to us on what? Neotisa page. At this moment, let us call it a day. I remain myself, Jama.